At this point, if you've paid any attention to the news, and especially if you've actively been trying to lose weight yourself, you've probably heard of or even tried Ozempic, Wegovy, or maybe other alternate forms of this originally diabetes medication. I'm going to break down for you what exactly it is, what the known side effects are, and my personal opinions and best and worst use cases with this medication. So let's get it. So Ozempic is basically just a brand name semaglutide. The original use case for this was for the controlling and management of type 2 diabetes. It is a GLP-1 receptor antagonist. And basically what that means, it helps the pancreas produce more insulin and reduces glucose production inside the liver, which is one of the biggest causes of diabetes, metabolic syndrome, just an overall unhealthy body. Because of the mechanism behind how it works, we've also seen a dramatic shift in body weight and body fat mass when it comes to people using Ozempic, which is how it kind of came to the limelight. As a diabetes medication, it wasn't really that sexy. Nobody really cared about it that much. But then once everybody realized that, hey, I can lose a substantial amount of weight like this, that's when it shot up in popularity and in all the searches. It primarily is helping with weight management by being an appetite suppressant. Now, there are plenty of appetite suppressants on the market. There are plenty of things that have throttled your appetite before, but those things typically have stimulants, and those things typically have a lot of other negative chemical compounds associated with them. The difference with, semaglutide is that it is a hormone and a chemical that is naturally occurring in our body already. So you're not necessarily introducing something that the body does not have any use case for or is not used to. This GLP-1 receptor antagonist is native to our body, which makes it much more of a natural appetite suppressant as opposed to something that's kind of forcing and shutting down and circumventing systems in order to cause the appetite suppression. Obviously, if you eat less, then you're typically going to lose weight. So that, in a very simplistic sense, is what Ozempic, Wegovy, and just the basic, even maybe off-brand semaglutide is doing. Now, I'll admit, when I first heard about it, I was extremely skeptical because we've seen these types of products on the market before, and we've seen a lot of the adverse side effects that they can bring. I'm not saying that Ozempic doesn't have those side effects, but so far it's proven to be much milder. It's nausea, vomiting, diarrhea, and then of course in your worst cases, pancreatitis. Now, if you hear that and you say, you know what, I don't want any part of that, I'll just do it the old-fashioned way, even if it takes me a little bit longer, I'm with you. And I'm not going to necessarily say that I disagree with you, but I do want to put that out there to kind of let you know the side effects of it. Now, the pancreatitis is something that is rare, and the vast majority of people that are using it are not necessarily dealing with that. But there are a fair amount of people that experience the nausea, which probably comes from the lack of appetite, probably the lower stomach acid, and your stomach just honestly being emptier than it is probably used to. That's something that's probably going to be pretty consistent until you get used to it. Here's my personal thoughts on use cases for Ozempic. When I would, as a health and fitness coach, certified personal trainer, sports nutritionist, strength conditioning coach, I've been coaching clients since 2017 in their training, in their nutrition, in their habits. We look deeply at clients' body composition, blood work, their gut health, their stress levels. We take all of these things into account. So I'm not saying this is somebody that only takes a base level look at people's health. Like, we're looking deep into what's going on in your body and getting a really good picture and a really good feel for what somebody might need or what might hurt or hinder somebody's progress. So what I will say is that I do see a use case for Ozempic. I would say that if you are over 100, 150, 200 plus pounds overweight, I think that Ozempic is a great way to quickly get a lot of body fat off of you, which is going to relieve a lot of pressure from the joints, probably going to throttle your A1C levels, probably lower blood pressure, bad cholesterol. You're going to see almost immediate health benefits from dropping a quick 20, 30, 50 pounds over the course of however long that may take. But personally, if I was not trying to lose, if I was not considered morbidly and even morbidly obese, I need to be on the high side of the morbidly obese category before this is something that I would look at using. And the number one reason why is because of the number one side effect that we have not talked about, which is the rapid, and I mean rapid, loss of muscle mass. Probably half the weight that people are losing on Ozempic is primarily lean muscle. And people are so excited because they get a smaller body and the scale number is smaller. But what happens is your metabolism is now throttled, and wherever you end up, once your body adjusts and adapts, wherever you end up at that current dose of Ozempic medication is typically where you're going to stay. So if you end up skinny fat, you're not really, you feel floppy, your energy is low, your workouts suffer, your appetite is non-existent, it's going to be really hard to pull yourself out of that because of the loss of muscle mass and the throttling of your metabolism. See, when goes your muscle mass, goes your energy. If you do not have muscle on your body, you are not going to have energy. You're not going to have strength. You're not going to have a high metabolism, which means you're naturally not going to want to eat as much food. And you might experience yourself kind of permanently being at this state where you struggle to consistently get in high quality foods, get in balanced, healthy meals. And that's why I say that you should probably be dramatically overweight before doing this, because you should have so much weight to lose that it really doesn't matter if you lose a lot of lean muscle mass, because you will still wind up dramatically healthier 100 pounds down, even if you also lost 50 pounds of lean muscle, because you also lost 50 pounds of body fat. But if you're, you got 20, 30 pounds that you want to lose, or, you're trying to get ready for summer or something like that, this is one of the worst things that you could do, because it's going to throttle your metabolism so quickly, and it's going to be something that you are going to have to manage and basically crawl out of on the other side of that. So you want to make sure that it is only going to put you in a win-win position. And I think that for most people that are using Ozempic for the purpose of weight loss, they're ending up on the other side of it at a worse place, because of what it's doing to their long-term metabolism, because of what it's doing to their hunger hormones, because of what it's doing to their energy levels. And I ultimately think that way more people are using it than they need to, but that doesn't necessarily mean that there isn't a positive use case for it. Diabetes is the 8th or 9th leading cause of death in the world. So anything that improves our blood sugar numbers, improves our A1C levels, improves our insulin resistance is something that I'm always going to be ready to get behind, because even if we have other negative and adverse side effects, that's what we know kills people. So there are a lot of unknowns with Ozempic. There are a lot of things that we are going to have to look at, in 5, 10, 20 years and figure out what type of role Ozempic played, if any, in adverse effects or, long tail side effects. But a lot of times, sometimes you got to fight the devil, and if the devil is heart disease, and it's diabetes, and it's high blood pressure, and it's aching joints, and it's inflammation, and it's low energy, and it's depression, and it's hormones out of whack, and you can solve that, you can expedite the process by taking something like Ozempic. If that's the situation that you're in, and if that's what you are dealing with, then I say by all means, after you talk to a primary care physician and you get the sign off that it's something that you would benefit from, by all means go for it. But if you're trying to fit into a dress for your daughter's wedding, or if you're trying to get ready for your trip to the Dominican, or you just want to look good for summertime, like if that's your thought process and that's your mindset, this is something that you need to stay away from, because it's something that you are going to have to manage on the back end in a big way, and even on the front end. And I say for even people that I am kind of recommending it to, or at least recommending you to explore. Do everything you can to keep your muscle mass intact, because you are going to drop it quickly. That is a side effect of not, when you don't eat a lot of food, you don't get a lot of nutrients in either. So the less food you eat, the less nutrients you get in, meaning the less protein you get in, meaning the less building blocks your body has to maintain and build lean muscle. So my biggest recommendations, if this is something that you're going to explore and looking to even trying out, please strength train consistently, get in high quality, high amounts of protein. Typically, whatever your goal weight is, try to get about a gram per pound of goal body weight. So if you're 260 and you want to be 200, try to get in 200 grams of protein every single day, and strength train at least 2 to 3 days a week. That'll mitigate a lot of the muscle atrophy that we're seeing, and you're going to get a lot of the fat loss benefits from it without the muscle loss negatives and the side effects from it. So you have to take a two-pronged approach to it and do whatever you can to preserve your lean muscle, because that is the longevity tissue. If you want to talk about being healthy and staying healthy and feeling energized and vibrant, and your hormones are in a good place, and your brain health is good, and your heart health is like, having lean muscle on your body is one of the best things that you can do. And anything that's gonna fight against that, you want to be really diligent about making sure that you prioritize the preservation and even the building of lean muscle. So that's it. Hopefully you guys got value out of this. My goal is to just kind of cut out the fluff. I know that there's a lot of, depending on some people's views and perceptions, like if you talk to somebody, say in the medical industry, they're gonna act like this is the world's best thing. And then if you talk to like your basic personal trainer in the gym, they're gonna act like it's the world's worst thing. And a lot of times, like with anything in life, the answer is somewhere in the middle. And in my personal opinion, I gave my use case for who I think would benefit from it most. I think that it's like a 10% thing. I don't think that the amount of people that are currently taking Ozempic should be, but I do think that there are people that would benefit dramatically and probably add years to their life and dramatically improve the quality of their life by adding some type of semaglutide into their daily medication regimen. Let me know if you got value down in the comments. And also, if you are currently or have taken Ozempic, please let us know your honest, the side effects, the good, the bad, the ugly, what type of progress you were able to make in your weight loss. And then also, if you also experienced any of the muscle loss negatives and downsides that we talked about, just to give anybody who is interested in doing this some type of real live feedback, because like I just said, you tend to not get honest opinions from people that think they know everything about something. That can be your doctor, and that can be your personal trainer or your nutritionist or your whatever. So you got to make sure that you have, the science, that you have anecdotal feedback, and then that you have somebody that you truly trust to point you in the right direction. So please let us know what your experience was. And if you got value from this, make sure to like and turn notifications on so that you don't miss the next video. Oh, and also subscribe so that you don't miss the next video. And I will see you in the next one. Peace.